What do successful people have in common? They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't let excuses hold them back. They see a problem and they fix it. They understand that action fuels motivation, not the other way around. These individuals are the builders, the doers, the ones who shape their own destiny. They are the embodiment of a proactive spirit, a spirit that refuses to be passive in the face of challenges. This fix-it mindset is not about having all the answers or possessing superhuman abilities. It's about taking ownership, embracing the struggle, and constantly seeking solutions. It's about understanding that setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. This essay will delve into this mindset, exploring its power in overcoming procrastination and frustration. We often find ourselves stuck in a cycle of procrastination and frustration. But what if there's a simpler, more common-sense approach to achieving success? What if the key lies in shifting our perspective and embracing a fix-it mentality? This approach is not about achieving instant gratification or avoiding challenges altogether. It's about acknowledging that life is messy, unpredictable, and rarely unfolds according to plan. This proactive approach to life, this fix-it mindset, is not just a personal strategy for success, it's a philosophy that can be applied to larger societal issues. Just as we can fix a broken engine or repair a leaky faucet, we can also work towards fixing broken systems and addressing the root causes of societal problems. Procrastination, we've all been there. That looming deadline, that unfinished project, that dream we keep putting off. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow when we have more time, more motivation, more resources. But tomorrow often turns into next week, next month, next year, and eventually that dream fades into the background of our lives. This cycle of procrastination is fueled by a fear of failure, a lack of self-belief, or simply the overwhelming feeling that the task at hand is too daunting to even begin. We convince ourselves that waiting for the perfect moment, for that burst of inspiration, is the key to success. But the truth is, action creates motivation. The simple act of starting, of taking that first step, can be enough to break the inertia of procrastination and set us on a path towards accomplishment. The problem is, we don't just procrastinate on the small stuff. We put off major life decisions, changing careers, starting businesses, investing in our health, mending broken relationships. We allow fear and uncertainty to paralyze us, to keep us stuck in a holding pattern of inaction. We tell ourselves that someday, when the conditions are just right, we'll finally pursue our dreams. But the reality is, there will never be a perfect time. Life is messy and unpredictable. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and unforeseen challenges. The key is to stop waiting for the stars to align and start creating our own opportunities. It's about embracing the uncertainty and having the courage to act, even when we don't have all the answers. Procrastination isn't simply a matter of laziness or poor time management. It's a complex psychological phenomenon rooted in our desire to avoid negative emotions. When faced with a task that triggers feelings of anxiety, overwhelm, or fear of failure, our brains seek immediate comfort by diverting our attention to more pleasurable activities. This instant gratification, though fleeting, reinforces the cycle of procrastination, wiring our brains to seek short-term rewards over long-term goals. We tell ourselves we work better under pressure, that we'll feel more inspired closer to the deadline. We convince ourselves that we're just taking a break, that scrolling through social media or binge-watching our favorite shows will somehow make us more productive later. But this is a self-deception, a way to avoid the discomfort of confronting the task at hand. This avoidance mechanism is often subconscious. We may not even realize we're procrastinating until we find ourselves overwhelmed by a mountain of unfinished tasks and approaching deadlines. The guilt and shame that follow only serve to further fuel the cycle, leading to more avoidance and deeper procrastination. Understanding the psychology behind procrastination is the first step towards breaking free from its grip. By recognizing the emotional triggers that lead us to delay, we can start to develop healthier coping mechanisms and cultivate a more proactive approach to our work and our lives. One of the most insidious aspects of procrastination is its ability to masquerade as perfectionism. We tell ourselves we're not starting that project because we're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect conditions. We believe that by delaying we're somehow ensuring a better outcome, a flawless masterpiece. But in reality, this pursuit of perfection is often a thinly veiled fear of failure. We're so afraid of not measuring up to our own impossibly high standards or the perceived expectations of others that we'd rather not try at all than risk falling short. This fear-driven procrastination can be paralyzing, keeping us from pursuing our passions, sharing our gifts with the world, and ultimately, living a life that is true to ourselves. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target that we'll never fully reach. And that's okay, because in the pursuit of perfection, we often miss out on the beauty of imperfection, the lessons learned from mistakes, and the joy of simply creating something, anything, and putting it out into the world. Letting go of the need for perfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means embracing the iterative process, understanding that every draft, every attempt, every stumble is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. It's about shifting our focus from the end result to the journey itself, finding joy in the process and celebrating the small victories along the way. We often fall into the trap of believing that motivation is something that magically strikes us, a bolt of inspiration that propels us into action. We wait for that feeling of excitement, that surge of energy, to wash over us before we even think about starting a task. But this passive approach to motivation is a recipe for stagnation and unfulfilled potential. The truth is, motivation is not a prerequisite for action, it's a byproduct of it. When we wait for motivation to strike, we give away our power, allowing external factors to dictate our behavior. We become reliant on fleeting feelings, rather than cultivating the discipline and self-determination needed to consistently show up and do the work, even when we don't feel like it. The key to breaking free from this cycle of waiting is to understand that action creates motivation. Taking that first step, no matter how small, sends a signal to our brains that we're serious about achieving our goals, and as we start to see progress, no matter how incremental, our motivation grows, fueling our desire to continue moving forward. This is not to say that there won't be days when we lack motivation or feel discouraged, but on those days, it's important to remember that motivation is like a muscle that needs to be exercised regularly. The more we show up and do the work, even when we don't feel like it, the stronger our motivation muscle becomes, making it easier to overcome procrastination and stay committed to our goals. Procrastination often involves a distorted perception of time. We convince ourselves that we have more time than we actually do, that we can put things off until tomorrow, next week, or even next year without consequence. But this illusion of abundant time leads to a false sense of security, a belief that we can always catch up later. The reality is, time is our most precious and finite resource. It waits for no one, and once it's gone forever. We may tell ourselves that we work better under pressure, that the adrenaline rush of a looming deadline fuels our productivity. But this last-minute scrambling often comes at a cost, sacrificing quality for speed, and leaving us feeling stressed, burnt out, and dissatisfied with the end result. Moreover, the habit of procrastination, once ingrained, can seep into other areas of our lives. It becomes a pattern of delaying gratification, of putting off important conversations, neglecting our health, and missing out on opportunities to connect with loved ones. We tell ourselves that we'll make time for those things later, that there's always tomorrow. But the truth is, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Breaking free from the time trap requires a shift in perspective. It means recognizing the urgency of now, of seizing the present moment and making the most of the time we have. It's about setting clear priorities, breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps, and scheduling time for the things that truly matter. Overcoming procrastination is not about becoming a productivity machine or adhering to rigid schedules. It's about understanding ourselves, recognizing our patterns of behavior, and developing strategies that work for us. It's about cultivating self-compassion, recognizing that we all struggle with procrastination at times, and giving ourselves permission to stumble, to start again, and to keep moving forward, one step at a time. One powerful tool for combating procrastination is to break down large, overwhelming tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. This chunking technique makes the task at hand seem less daunting, allowing us to focus on one step at a time and build momentum as we see progress. Another effective strategy is to identify and eliminate distractions. This might involve creating a dedicated workspace, turning off notifications on our phones, or using website blockers to limit our time on social media. By minimizing distractions, we create space for focus and allow ourselves to fully engage with the task at hand. It's also crucial to cultivate self-accountability. This could involve setting deadlines for ourselves, sharing our goals with a trusted friend or mentor, or using productivity apps that track our progress and provide gentle reminders. By holding ourselves accountable, we're more likely to stay on track and make consistent progress toward our goals. Finally, it's essential to celebrate our wins, no matter how small. Recognizing our accomplishments, even the seemingly insignificant ones, reinforces positive behavior and fuels our motivation to keep going. Imagine this. You've finally overcome the inertia of procrastination. You've mustered the courage to pursue a long-held dream, to take that first step towards a better life. You've poured your heart and soul into your endeavors, sacrificed time, energy, and resources only to find yourself staring at a wall of frustration. Your efforts haven't yielded the expected results. The path to success is littered with unexpected obstacles, unforeseen setbacks, and the crushing weight of unmet expectations. This is the point where many people give up. The initial excitement, the naive optimism that fueled the early days of their journey, has waned, replaced by a gnawing sense of doubt and the bitter taste of disappointment. The wall of frustration looms large, casting a shadow of uncertainty over their dreams and whispering insidious suggestions of inadequacy. The frustration is not just about the lack of progress, it's about the emotional investment, the time and energy already expended. It's about the sacrifices made, the opportunities missed, and the growing fear that it was all for nothing. The dream, once a beacon of hope, now feels like a distant, unattainable mirage. This is the critical juncture, the point where the path diverges. One path leads back to the familiar comfort of complacency, to the seductive whispers of "I told you so," and the resignation of unfulfilled potential. The other path, though steeper and fraught with uncertainty, leads to growth, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of one's true potential. Giving up is easy. It's the path of least resistance, the siren song of comfort and self-preservation. When faced with the relentless onslaught of obstacles and setbacks, our brains, wired for efficiency and the avoidance of discomfort, start to rationalize surrender. We tell ourselves that it wasn't meant to be, that we weren't cut out for this, that it's better to quit now and save ourselves from further disappointment. We start to focus on the negative, highlighting our perceived failures and minimizing our accomplishments. The initial spark of inspiration, the passion that fueled our early efforts, is extinguished by a deluge of self-doubt and the insidious whispers of "I'm not good enough." The seduction of giving up lies in its deceptive promise of relief. It offers a temporary reprieve from the struggle, a chance to retreat back into our comfort zones and numb the pain of perceived failure. But this relief is fleeting, a shallow substitute for the deep satisfaction of overcoming challenges and achieving our goals. Giving up, though seemingly a personal choice, can have far-reaching consequences. It not only impacts our own lives, but also those around us. When we give up on our dreams, we inadvertently give others permission to do the same. We reinforce the limiting belief that success is reserved for the lucky few, that some people are just born with a certain something that the rest of us lack. But the truth is, success is not about luck, talent, or circumstance. It's about resilience, perseverance, and the unwavering belief in our ability to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. It's about recognizing that setbacks are not failures, but opportunities for growth, learning, and course correction. One of the most powerful tools in combating frustration is the ability to reframe failure. Instead of viewing setbacks as insurmountable roadblocks or evidence of our inadequacy, we can choose to see them as valuable learning experiences, opportunities for growth, and stepping stones on the path to success. This shift in perspective requires a conscious effort to challenge our negative self-talk, to silence the inner critic that delights in highlighting our shortcomings and amplifying our fears. It's about embracing a growth mindset, understanding that our abilities are not fixed, but rather malleable qualities that can be developed through dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. When we encounter a setback, our first instinct may be to dwell on the disappointment, to analyze what we did wrong, and to berate ourselves for our perceived failures. But this negative self-talk is counterproductive, only serving to fuel our frustration and erode our self-confidence. Instead of fixating on the problem, we can choose to focus on finding solutions. We can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this setback as an opportunity to grow and improve? What adjustments can I make to increase my chances of success in the future? By approaching challenges with a spirit of curiosity and a willingness to learn, we transform setbacks from demoralizing defeats into valuable opportunities for growth and self-discovery. We begin to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a necessary detour on the road to success. Perseverance is the unwavering commitment to our goals, even in the face of adversity. It's the inner strength that propels us forward when the path ahead seems treacherous. Perseverance is about adapting, adjusting our course, and finding creative solutions. It's about recognizing that the path to success is rarely linear. The power of perseverance lies not just in achieving our goals, but in the transformation we undergo in the process. Frustration can be a powerful catalyst for change. Instead of allowing frustration to paralyze us, we can channel its energy into constructive action. Use frustration as a springboard for innovation and creative problem-solving. Reframe obstacles as puzzles to be solved, opportunities to test our ingenuity. Adopt a proactive, solution-oriented mindset, focusing on what we can control. Imagine your car sputtering on a busy highway. Do you slam your fists in frustration, or do you pull over and diagnose the problem? The fix-it mindset is about approaching challenges with a calm, pragmatic approach. It's about embracing a proactive approach to problem solving. This mindset shift is crucial in today's rapidly changing world. Diagnosis before demolition. Identifying the root cause. One common pitfall in problem solving is jumping to solutions without understanding the root cause. The fix-it mindset emphasizes thorough diagnosis before taking action. It's about challenging our assumptions and being open to the possibility that the root cause might lie in our own actions or beliefs. From passive consumers to active problem solvers. In today's consumer-driven society, it's easy to rely on others for solutions. The fix-it mindset encourages self-reliance and viewing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Embrace DIY projects, teach ourselves new skills, and understand how things work. This shift empowers us individually and fosters a more resilient and resourceful society. Scaling up the fix-it mindset for a nation. The fix-it mindset is a powerful framework for addressing societal challenges. It's about taking ownership and recognizing that we are active participants with the power to affect change. This mindset is evident in grassroots movements and community organizing efforts. The fix-it mindset encourages us to engage in informed civic discourse and advocate for policies that promote the common good. The beauty of the fix-it mindset lies in its simplicity and practicality. It's about identifying problems, breaking them down, and working collaboratively to find solutions. This approach emphasizes collaboration over competition. It's about fostering a spirit of shared responsibility and recognizing that different contexts require different solutions. The collective power of common-sense solutions lies in their ability to build momentum and inspire others to take action. Just as procrastination can derail individual dreams, it can hinder the progress of a nation. National procrastination manifests in political gridlock and short-sighted policies. This procrastination is born from a sense of overwhelm and resignation to the status quo. The consequences are far-reaching, threatening the stability of future generations. It's time to recognize that a nation cannot afford to procrastinate on its future. The frustration factor: economic anxiety and the erosion of hope. Economic frustration is about the erosion of hope and the fading belief in a better future. This frustration manifests in political polarization, social unrest, and quiet desperation. It's a call for change and a renewed commitment to economic justice. Channeling this frustration constructively can be a powerful catalyst for positive change. Beyond blame. Applying the fix-it mindset to policy and governance. The fix-it mindset transcends partisan politics and ideological divides. It's about embracing a pragmatic, solution-oriented approach to addressing challenges. This involves holding elected officials accountable and engaging in informed civic discourse. The fix-it mindset in governance is about crafting long-term solutions that promote sustainability and equity. Reclaiming our narrative: from frustration to action, from apathy to engagement. The fix-it mindset reminds us that we are not powerless bystanders. We have a choice to channel our frustration into constructive action. This starts with recognizing that our individual actions can create a ripple effect. The fix-it mindset is a call to action, an invitation to embrace our collective agency and work together for a better future. Section 1. The fix is in. We've journeyed from the depths of procrastination, where dreams gather dust, to the heart of frustration, where efforts seem to meet a wall of resistance. But through it all, a common thread has emerged: the power of the fix-it mindset. This isn't about some magic formula or overnight success. It's about adopting a mechanic's mentality towards life's challenges, whether they're personal roadblocks or national dilemmas. Remember that car sputtering on the highway? The fix-it mindset doesn't curse the breakdown, it pops the hood. It diagnoses the problem, not to wallow in it, but to understand it. And just as a mechanic wouldn't torch a car for having a faulty spark plug, this mindset doesn't allow frustration to become a reason to abandon the entire endeavor. This is the call to action for the frustrated strivers, the dreamers hitting roadblocks. And yes, even for a nation grappling with complex issues, stop waiting for perfect conditions or magical solutions. Embrace the common-sense truth that progress starts with acknowledging the problem, breaking it down, and taking that first step towards a fix. Whether it's your personal goals or the future we're building together, remember this: the fix is not in some distant utopia, it's in each of us. It's in the act of showing up, sleeves rolled up, ready to work through the mess to reach a better tomorrow. That's the Common Sense USA way.